Good morning, everyone. Today we are going to see about database recovery. I am Sangeeta B from the Department of CSE IoT, working in SNS College of Engineering. Today, what is database recovery? Database is nothing but the something which we are storing a data in a group of data in a single file. If the data is lost, how can we take it? And now we are going to see about the database recovery methods and what are all the things we can do and how we can retrieve the data. The first one is database recovery purpose. If the data is lost is consistently state, that is which exists prior to be failure, and the data transaction process, that is for example, if I am doing some transaction and that time a system fails or a transaction fails, and how can I require recovery that all the things and come to the normal. So today we are going to see how can we do that. In this we are going to use the various type. First thing is an acid properties, that is A refers to atomicity, C refers to the consistency, and I refers to the isolation, and D refers to the durability. If example I am transferring some of the fund to any of the country or any of things, during that time if a system crash, and either I should be having an recovery concept, or I should have some of the methods to overcome that problem, and what are the methods we are going to involve, that we are going to do it in see it in a detailed way. The types of failure. What are all the types failures can be occurred during the transaction? First one is the transaction failure. The transaction failures may occur due to the incorrect input or a deadlock or an incorrect synchronization. And second one is the system failure. The system failures is because of addressing the error, application error, or operating system fault or RAM failure. And third one is the media failure, that is the disk head crash, power distributions, etc. For this we can have a transaction log, that is the image before the transaction and the image after the transaction, so that we can identify the error easily, and if any of the information is needed we can take it from the before transaction image, and the values will be stored in a sequential file, and that file is called as a transaction log. Sample log if you take is back p and next p, that is the previous and the next log records of the same transaction. Next one is the data update. What are all the data update? That is how can we update the data? First one is an immediate update, that is as soon as the data is modified we can update it immediately to the disk copy, so that the avoid of the data loss is reduced. Next one is deferred update, that is all modified data items in a cache is written either after a transaction ends its execute or after a fixed number of transactions have completed their execution. Next one is a shadow update, that is modified version of a data item does not overwrite its disk copy but it returns at separate disk location. The next one is in place update, that is the disk version of a data item is overwritten by the cache version. Cache version. Next one is the data caching. Next one is the data caching. The data caching is nothing but the data item to be modified or first stored into a database cache by cache memory, and after modification they are flushed returned to the disk. Next one is the flushing is controlled by modified and unpinned bits. Pin and pin. The instructions that operator system not flush the data item. Modified indicates the AFIM of the data item. Next one is the transaction rollback, that is undo and roll forward, redo. To maintain the atomicity, a transaction operations are undone or undone. Redone or undone. If undo means restore all BFIMS on disk, remove all AF, that is after and before. Redo is restore all the after image on the disk. The data recovery is achieved either by performing only undos or redos, or by combination of both. These operations are recorded in a log as they happen. Here are mentioned some of the example, that is If I'm considering a three transaction, the first one is T1, T2, T3. First in T1, the item is read and A item is read, D item is read, and we are writing the item in D. Next T2, the read item in B, we will be reading the item in B, writing the item in B, reading the item in D, and writing the item in D. Next one is read item C, write item B, read item A, write item A. Cascading rollback we are seeing here, that is a process that never occurs in a strict or a cascade schedule. To read and write operation of these three transactions, the system log at point is crash. Operation before the crash. So this is the item that is operation before the crash. And here we are doing the transaction. The cascade rollback, that is the process never occurs in a strict or a cascade schedule. Here the T3 is rolled back because it does not reach its commit point, and T2 is rolled back because it reads the value of item B written by the B. Hope you understand this concept. Thank you.